Well, I think it's a quote that, what did he say? Is it the kicks of a dying horse? Or the kick of a dying horse is what, deadly?
The kicks of a dying horse are powerful.
Are powerful. Abukari Damba. I think that's the quotes of the day, no doubt about it. Well done, Karela. Kotoko have to ask themselves why the relegation-threatened sides seem to be causing them problems. They are pulling the Porcupine Warriors back from their ascendancy. And Esther, it's a game on over the 90 minutes. You have to say Karela deserved to win.
Karela indeed deserved to win, and nobody that watched the game would end up, having any complaints in reference to the fact that the victory ended up in the way or in favor of Karela United, because they actually on the day outclassed Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko in both departments of the game. Because if you look at how they started in the first half, and as much as they created chances in the first half, they intensified whatever that they did in the second half in terms of their performance up in their games. I did touch on the fact that they were not clinical enough in the final third in the opening period, and then in the second half they improved upon it and then ensured that from those set pieces that they had, they made it count through that powerful header of Diaz that he had for them to give them the only so goal that they ended up winning the game. But in everything, I believe that Karela United as a team, they are so much indebted to their goalkeeper on the day, Gani Mohammed, who ensured that the lead that they had was so much protected by him to deny Kumasi Asante Kotoko any means of survival or salvaging a point at Nolorgu today.
Yep, and you have to say that once again, the man of the match going to the goalkeeper, as Esther is making reference to, and previous away defeats at Bando, the man of the match was the goalkeeper. So perhaps the Kotoko, the Kotoko players are not clinical up front, because the goalkeepers seem to be working overtime to stop them. And you have to say, he deserved this man of the match award.
Yeah, 1 goal in 3 games in the second round. I think it's not good enough for a team who want to win the Ghana Premier League. And 3 points out of possible 9 for a team who want to win the Ghana Premier League, to be honest, it's not good enough. So if Asante Kotoko really want to win the Ghana Premier League, I agree with people who are talking about the away performance in the Ghana Premier League. I'm not impressed with the performance of the Kotoko team in away games, especially against relegation-threatening teams. You can't be dropping points against Karela United, Pando House of Lions. Now when you're watching so winning the Ghana Premier League, you need to play beyond what we've seen in the Ghana Premier League to win it. Looking at how the points build up is getting up in the Ghana Premier League distance. 20 points for Karela United. After this win, they moved to 23 points. So 4 difference between them and the team on the 16th on the league log. Massive achievement for Karela United. And I think their team looks more stronger than the rest of the 3 teams in the relegation zone. And I think I'm impressed. Winning against Asante Kotoko, getting the maximum 3 points, will boost their confidence in surviving the Ghana Premier League. They had a good game. That jump from that player was crucial for Karela United. I don't see most of these defenders or these players jumping like this to score goals in the 18-yard box. And I think the Karela player was smart enough to do that for Karela United. A massive win and a massive 3 points for Karela United. I'm happy for Abukari Damba. Rising from goalkeeper to become a goalkeeper's trainer, now a head coach of a Premier League side, beating one of the best teams in the local scene on 2 occasions in the space of 1 month. Massive result for Karela United to get the maximum 3 points against Kotoko.
It's going to be a real battle at the bottom. Esther, the bottom clubs really want to survive. We saw Pando, beating Hearts. They lost to Olympics in the next game, but they're at home again. Beating Kotoko. Porcupine Warriors have lost again at home. They need to find a way to be winning away from home. If they had drawn in Pando, drawn in Nalerigu, at least you've got 2 points, but no points. 3 out of 9, that's not the best.
3 out of 9 for them, and then so far they've out of the 21 games that they have played, out of the 20 games that they have played so far, Kumasi Asante Kotoko has conceded 14 goals and scoring 19. It tells you that they don't have quite a very good record in terms of their goals, and it's very unfortunate because we were looking for it before the game commenced, looking at the gap difference between Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko, and then Samates, with just 3 points between the two of them. We're hoping that possibly Kotoko might have been able to pick a point in this game so that they would have managed to close the gap between them and Samates, but that didn't work. So which means that they still remain with their 32 points, and then Samates with the game ahead. If they should win, that means the gap between them and then Samates is going to really widen, and that is really going to be very difficult for and then also an insurmountable or unassailable situation for them altogether in their quest in order to ensure that they win the title once again, so far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. But then again, I believe that to suffer 3 consecutive away defeats, it's not the best of records that a huge coach with his traits and then his performance in the domestic league, coach like Dr. Prosper Ogum is noted for. And then that means that today his failure to beat Karela United means that in his 5 attempts as a coach in charge of Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko, Coach Prosper Ogum still has to find the right antidote when it comes to beating Karela as a coach.
And, yeah, when you look at the Kotoko team, I think they are missing these 3 key players. Sharif Mohammed, the defensive midfielder who had a motor accident in Tamale.
And he's out for the season.
And he's out for the rest of the season. Nuruddin Mohammed, arguably their best defender in the first round. You know, inconsistency in terms of play, injury situation, and of course Isaac Opon. And when we look at their back 3 and the wing back situation, Peter Aminuakwa is not the same Peter Aminuakwa restored in the first round, and of course Enoch Morrison has been relegated to the bench for John Tedeku and Nicholas Osebonsu to fight for that particular position for Asante Kotoko Football Club. So I think those key players' absence is really affecting Asante Kotoko Football Club. I don't know the reason why. After Richmond Lamte moved from the Black Stars camp, came back to Asante Kotoko, the 4 games I've seen him playing for Asante Kotoko, the performance is not the same. Richmond Lamte, since he moved from the Black Stars camp to Asante Kotoko, I saw him against House of Lions, not the same kind of performance. I saw him against Asek Mimosa, not the same kind of performance. And today, I think there is something wrong. The same as the Karela United game in Tamale.
A relapse, Anna.
I don't know whether it's fatigue or the contract issue is having issue on him. To be honest, the Lamte that I'm seeing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Sorry, Nana. And also, it's a very nice topic to actually look at GPL players who've come back from Black Stars or national team duty and they've not been the same. A very nice topic. But you see, this goalkeeper realized shot near too hot and then he parried it away. Kotoko had the early possession, had the chances. As in that, Karela was showing them too much respect. But once Karela settled, they got going. Another chance, a bit feeble. Mukwala should be doing better from 6 yards out.
Mukwala should have done better in that instance. Not only this chance did Mukwala miss, even in the first half, he equally had another great opportunity, which was almost a 2v1 situation for him that he could have easily buried, finding a very right spot in order to have given Kotoko the lead. But then again, he failed to do that. And that tells you how not too much of clinical when Kumasi and Kotoko have been in their games when it comes to scoring of goals, because this is a league. You would need the goals in order to make sure that you have a very good standing on the league table, but you are unable to create the chances.
And also fingertip
then
save.
a few ones, the fingertip save as well from goalkeeper Ganiu Mohammed. Today he has really been very superb in the day. He actually rose to the occasion and then ensured that he defended the goalpost of Karela United with virtually every fiber in him, because that was the lead that they were so much looking for in the long run. It's 3 points that they needed in order to leapfrog from their current 15th position on the league table and then ensure that they have a very good standing ahead of the other teams that they are also battling relegation, who are yet to play tomorrow and then Monday as well.
And Esther, when you look at the Ghana Premier League in the first round, Kofi Ban, Benjamin Asari were doing a great job for Olympics and Samates respectively.
Yeah.
In the second round, Isaac Osai of Pando Heart of Lions, when you look at the performance of this goalkeeper for Karela United, they are doing wonders in the Ghana Premier League.
And he won the man of the match. I won't be surprised. Let's hear from Coach Damba and also Coach Oklu at pitch side.
Congratulations. We spoke before the game. You ended with a quote. Are you happy?
I mean, I cannot have any other feeling than to be happy, because I did indicate to you that the last kicks of a dying horse are very powerful. Our position on the league table is not the best. We have to get ourselves out of that area because it's not a comfortable place to be. And I think my players, of course, did demonstrate that. We worked towards this we worked very hard towards this. But I must also say Kotoko is a team that has to be looked at again. They are a very, very good side. They distinguished themselves creditably, just that we did the needful by scoring the goal.
I see. Okay. So you have done the double over them. You've beaten them and kicked them out of the MTN FA Cup. You have beaten them in the league as well. What kind of tonic does this give to Karela for subsequent matches, especially in the second half?
It only tells us that we need to work harder. The higher you go, the more difficult it becomes. You know, this victory is for today. It is gone. It will not come any other day. So we need to keep working towards, more victories. And I think we'll put this behind us, but then it is a motivating factor. You can't take that away from anybody. Beating Kotoko is a huge thing to do. And I think we are very, very elated.
I see. Okay. Finally, before I let you go, the fans of Nalerigu have been here. They've supported you from start to finish. Was it a wise decision to pick here as your home ground?
Well, I don't think it was deliberate to pick here. It only happened because it was supposed to happen.
Okay.
And we can only say by divine intervention, we are grateful we are here. This is our home, and we'll continue to, flourish in our home.
All right. We wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been another tough day at the office. Will you say there's something that is not working for Kotoko in the away matches?
It's a very disappointing day. In this game, when you have the opportunities and you don't use them, it comes back to haunt you. And this is exactly what happened.
You seem to have worked on the team after that loss in Kpando, and I spoke with you earlier before the match, and you said you told me how important the 3 points were from today's encounter. Are you worried?
I'm not worried. This is just a game. Yeah, there are more to come. So we just have to go, work hard, be determined and more focused, and play according to our system and the structure, and we will come good.
Thank you very much for talking to us, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You have been selected as the most valuable player in this game. First of all, how difficult was this game for you and your colleagues?
Well, it was a difficult game because in the sense that we were not getting the goal. So the game was becoming tough for us. But when we got the goal, it motivated us to keep on moving.
Was there any thought in your mind during the game that at any time Kotoko could come back and beat you?
Well, for football, anything can happen. But we were determined to win the game. Our position alone motivated us to win this match, and we did our best and we won the match.
For the very first time, the people of this community, the Mamprusi area, Nalerigu, have been put on TV live, and you have displayed your sheer brilliance against no other team than Asante Kotoko. How does this make you feel?
Well, the people of Nalerigu want us to make Nasharga Sports Stadium a fortress, and we will make sure we make here a fortress by winning all our home matches. They are giving us a lot of support. That one is a motivation to us, and it has motivated us to beat Kotoko. We are grateful for their support.
Yep, that was it. Shege win. Now Shege is going to be the venue for them, and they, having won that against Kotoko, they would hope it will continue. As I said, the venue is what, 70 or so percent, complete. So there's a bit more work to be done. But that was a good turnout for them, and congratulations on that win. I'm sure Kotoko, that long journey back to Kumasi, there'll be a lot of soul searching. And but I don't know, is it panic? Is it prices? Or it wasn't a terrible performance. They just were not clinical enough. So what more could they have done? You wanted more fight?
No, they knew that this was a great chance for them to have closed the gap between them and Samatex. It's very important because all of us are looking forward to return to Africa. Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko as a club, looking forward to return to Africa. And then having crisis in terms of management, the departure of Nana Amponsa, and then bringing in the IMC, which came and then took over. And then the introduction of Prosper Ogum, a coach who has been with the team. In his first term, he managed to win the title for them in the space of 7 years. For their inability to have won it, he came and won it. They had so much trust in him, bringing him back for his second stint with the team, expecting a lot from him because the fans obviously knew that Coach Prosper Ogum is a tried and tested coach from his days from Wafa through to his first time with Kotoko. And then coming to take over the team, and then not being able to win crucial games, obviously, is going to be very difficult for them. And then if it had been a different game altogether, that they created the chances, too much of those chances, but they ended up, not being able to have gotten the goals, you would say that possibly there are a lot of positives to pick up from it. But here lies the situation whereby, apart from the one that Rocky Dramina had, that the goalkeeper ended up parrying in the opening half, and then in the first half, and then in the second half.
There was a penalty shout before the goal, right? Or was it after? But there was a penalty shout, so we'll take a look at that later on. But look at this goal and the defensive setup. Who was doing what? Who was taking charge? Who was being responsible for? I mean, this player is one of the tallest players on the pitch. You would imagine that somebody would take responsibility. Just look at the way they glide into that area. Zeze was going with him. Was that him? It's not him. And then it's quite simple. Once it was a brilliant cross, but then he had to do a lot of work and guide it to the far corner. No chance for the goalkeeper.
The marking was poor. Marking was poor. Who was marking who? And looking at where the player was coming from, I think he was working with Richmond Lamte, but the marking was poor on that angle, and Kotoko need to defend well in situations like this.
Disappointed, I'm sure they will be. But yes, you take a look at this again. The marking was non-existent. It was the marking here poor. I think Zeze had his man. He was following him. Apart from that, there was literally Richmond Lamte was trying to go with him, but then look at the gap.
There were too many Kotoko players in the penalty area.
Yeah, he was left alone.
They were just huffing and puffing around without doing any relevant work.
Let's go back a bit where Richmond Lamte was with him. Even made contacts as if to say, Jinaha, watch this. There you go. And then he left him.
Yeah.
He left him. So watch this. Let's go back again. At a point, Richmond Lamte was right next to him. Let's go back another frame. Watch this. This is where Richmond Lamte was.
Richmond Lamte was the one who was supposed to have marked him based on this angle that was given.
Right.
But then again, Richmond Lamte rather opted to be behind him. And this is one of the defensive deficiencies that Richmond Lamte
So
ended
here,
up
stay
committing.
with him. Stay with him here. Omano gap. In fact, Ujano. And then I think the man taking the corner realized that let me hit that area.
So at this point, he's in between Nicolas Mensah and Richmond Lamte.
And he can attack the ball straight.
The best option was Richmond Lamte to cover up.
Yeah, but defensively, there were only 3 danger men of Karela in the box.
Even with this, it's 2 visible Karela United players who were there. Solomon Abuaje and then Diaz himself, who scored the goal for Karela United. And they were actually left unmarked. They bought a lot of space for themselves. And look at the laxity of time that he had. When the ball was swung in, he would apparently happen to have been the only player who ended up, jumping. And then he had a very perfect, delightful touch on the ball and then found a spot and had the goal for Karela United.
When you exclude the goalkeeper, you still have 4 outfield red men in the box to attack or to get rid of this. But they didn't do their work. And again, you need to ask why the captain allowed his man, when he was marking him, to do that. And it was a great corner because, the man taking the corner realized that this is an opportunity. Hits it in a danger zone, and here, free header. He had time to jump, to angle, and put it in the corner. Brilliant header. Goalkeeper, you can't blame the goalkeeper for this.
At all. This is something that you can't blame Frederick Asari for it, because
There it is,
Richmond
a closer
Lamptey
shot.
should have done better there. And then you look at how he was left right after Fatah Mohammed had, sent the ball in, and then that was a brilliant header altogether from Diaz, who had the goal for them. But today too, I think one of the Karela players who was really, sparkling in the game has to do with the former captain of Accra Hearts of Oak, yes, Fatah Mohammed. Today he was really instrumental and very, very brilliant on the day for
Used experience. He actually had a penalty shout. Let's take a look at that. If there was contact here. Now, danger area. It looked like it had been impeded. Everybody thought he had. There you go. Very strong here. Now, watch this. He knew the inexperienced Bonsu grabbed him. That's a penalty in my book. If not, there you go. There you go. There's the contact. And if you're not careful, that's a yellow card as well. So the contact is visible. The referee decided to wait play on. Lucky to have gotten away with that.
Yeah.
Guys, your thoughts? Any penalty?
There was a contact from Nicolas Osebonsu. I think it was a penalty on that score.
And I soft.
You don't have soft penalty.
This is that once there is a pull of a shirt of a player, usually referees do not take that lightly. Not even, sometimes incidents happen, sometimes not even in the penalty area, but we realize with some referees, a lot of precedences of the and then
game from the referee. Let's be honest. I mean, we're not talking. Is brought to you by high everyday people. Simply the best. Midema Herbal. Make sure you get yourself checked out, and make sure you get the local technology. Of course, very, very necessary for us to check our health to be able to function well, as well as JB Fresh, lovely juice and soccer bets as well. It's time for you to get involved. So the phone lines have been activated. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Keep it brief, and let's talk about the GPL 055 846 208, and let us know what's on your mind. Another result there, very surprising, and I say an eye-opener. 5 goals to 0. I think Berekum Chelsea have got a new manager or coach. Nana, yeah, give us baptism of blessing. And your crown. I don't know where it's at.
I don't know whether he
was in charge
on the bench or not, but he's the new coach of Berekum Chelsea.
Oh, but not Accra Lions. Why would you do that to Sabo?
And Accra Lions face Asante Kotoko on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m.
Baba tough game. They're in good form for that, and they've always given Kotoko problems.
Yeah, and Kotoko's first win in the Ghana Premier League came on the hands of Accra Lions when they won by 1 goal to 0. Kalu Watara, last minute goal.
Injury time goal.
Yes.
I remember. Accra Lions had a lot of chances. Yako Sprintex, good evening. Nana, good evening to you.
Good evening. Yeah. In fact, these Kotoko boys, they need to be talked to. They are so... I mean, look at the way Richmond Lamptey was we made Richmond Lamptey standing and you couldn't jump. No, these boys are killing us too much. We put our heart there, they are not performing for us. The only club that you can play and make life in Ghana here is Asante Kotoko. When you have all those lesser clubs, you don't have what it takes. Kotoko will promote you, so kill yourself small. At times, I don't know what is wrong with these guys. We pamper you, we make you names, and do everything. Just do it for us. If you go to Egypt, Ali Zamalek have been playing African Cup every now and then. Every country has it. Only Kotoko and House of Folk. I mean, you've been dead for years. I don't know what is wrong with these boys. Oh, no. We need to do something about it. I think they need discipline. We can't just put our heart there for you to just go and stand with a player, you cannot jump. Then then why? Oh no! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the passion, no, there. You know, Kotoko fans, in fact, all fans are very passionate about their team, and you can see the goalkeeper's reaction after the game. He was not happy at all. But again, if you're playing for Kotoko, if there he is, very disappointed. You know, he was let down. He couldn't do much about that. I think they need more fight. They need more determination. You know, look at him. He's not happy at all. And, you know, the fans also don't look happy. Anyway, let's go to Cantonments, Accra, and talk to Eric. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, Eric. As you say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then my way say, you make us a Lamte and a Cobrasta. Lamte a very good player. But these are some of the problems and challenges. Hello.
Yeah, it's you.
These are some of the challenges.
Right.
Hello.
We're listening. Go ahead.
These are the challenges that Lamte the deficiencies. Very good player, but not tackling the suspect. As a captain, can be also as an influence to your players. Boy, who crown players over, you have to call it and continue to mean Yakwa is what for defending. And look at that ball at the bench. So why did we go for him? A player, this made for the Yokonya accident. And Blay is there. You can substitute him Blay and let Ifratman boy come and play. Wow, when na ABC na fede Yakuma na Kotoko. Oh, it's very baffling. It's very baffling. We have to push things up because the has is coming, and Kotoko needs to double up. We need to double up. Yeah, that's in the coverage. And Esther Bankwa, she's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, Esther, me train your point. I saw the BB for US at Birmingham, you know. But Jimmy, they are not so many. They are for Spain at Breno. Thank you very much. Yeah, Kotoko fans are not happy, but I like the calm, composed manner in which they are expressing their misgivings about their team. You know, they're not happy at all. Yeah, you should demand the best from your players and your team.
Yehu Kotoko team penyo. We've seen Kotoko play a lot of games before. Yehu performance at Champagne. I've always been saying, if you're a player and you play for either Haas or Kotoko, and you give your all, you give your best, trust me, come and do that.
Exactly.
You are really going to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And sometimes it really hurts and sucks when players of these two traditional clubs, the biggest ones that we have, are on the pitch and they end up not giving their maximum best on the field. It's really devastating for the fans as well and very difficult for them. You can express and then, you know, see from their respective sentiments and how very disturbed they are with the developments of events as it stands at Kumasi, Asante, Kotoko. I believe they can do better. We have over 10 games tomorrow to end the season. I believe that with a lot of determination, consistency, hard work, and then yes, okay. I believe they'll be able to give their best.
Abubakar is on the line. Let's find out what he has to say. Good evening to you, Abubakar.
Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Pacho, my country, Kaka.
Me Pacho, you.
Oh, okay. Me share game, no. Lante. As a pressure on so on the contract as I'm a winning team contract no more na kwan on my first so me ya hyehyɛ bibia on first on yede and hyehyɛ na onya asumdwe mfa mbɔbɔ nti odina park no so ni na sa wohwɛ ni ya bon sɛ anya plant na edina hɔ no.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Thank you.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. Nana, it goes back to your point. Now, who raised the point about Lamtifi Black Stars come by now and being impressed. So you're not being so out observing the same thing. You know, what's the problem?
And also the contract issue. I understand in September the contract a baby here. Kotoko would like to extend also in your offer from a Libyan club. So these are all things.
Algeria and Libya.
Libya.
Okay.
Algeria is still Mukwala.
Okay.
So these are all things a player like which Malamte a better than it is so a better hunting as to how they affecting the performance. So I think Kotoko need to work on these things. There are some few things the European players who say almost more quality football for their respective clubs. Enzo Fernandez only issue with contracts. So when you see him playing like this, it's a normal thing. When you go to Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, almost need contract issues.
Liverpool, Kola.
These young guys, that is why they are playing good football for their respective clubs. So some of these things are anti-players in the local league. Make sure Mukwala, Richmond Lamte get the best of environment to play their best of football for Asante Kotoko Football Club.
Okay. Nungwa, Ima, good evening, Ima. Hello. Pacho.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Emmanuel, calling from YP5.
Okay. We're listening to you, sir.
Come again.
We are listening to you, sir.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Yambo.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first in YP5.
Me Pacho, you eat here.
The American is teams can get one up, but I'm not too many. I saw Kotoko has for so almost any number correction. The way I'm better the car, no. About how about that two when you see Kotoko, I'm correction. The way no catch up says, I'm one of too many. I saw Kotoko has I'm a correction. I'm not better the car.
Me Pacho, yo, bye bye. Thank you very much. Yeah, but last week one I had share. It's right. Okay, almost a small team per se. Say they are even doing very well.
No, but yes, sir, let's also establish the fact that Karela United has always been very dominant on Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and the stats are there. They be no Kotoko struggle to
get results,
get even salvage a point whenever they play against Karela United. And yes, smaller teams, the tennis Kotoko Nankas on Karela Boa.
The point to say relegation threatened teams. Maybe that's what he wants to say. Bando Heart of Lions, almost so sad. They've had quite some good victories in the past against Kotoko.
But apart from good victories, then if you are in the relegation zone,
you are fighting for your life.
That's a long crampo. One can sound motivational.
Good.
So one person boy in the Division 1. That means you need to up your game.
But then if you are Kotoko, your heart, you also have to double up.
Exactly, because who did this mistake or the best winning. So you also have to up your game whenever you play against them.
And my point is, when you want to win the Ghana Premier League, you don't drop points against relegation threatening teams. Karela, Hearts of Lions. These are teams that to be picking the maximum 3 points because
regardless, almost they are dying horses.
When you look at the fixtures for the season, they are games where they are stars, but say you want your maximum 3 points.
Okay,
and games nibini.
Okay, Yanko Tema. Abranti be or say a friend of behavior. I don't know if that's his nickname, but behavior or hello. Okay, I thought behavior was on the line. Sorry, continue.
So I was talking about some of these teams. You need to find a way to pick the maximum 3 points. Karela is one of them. Bando Heart of Lions is one of them. But for Kwatano, these are teams. If you want to win the Ghana Premier League, you pick the maximum 3 points. But when you struggle against Heart of Lions, Karela United, you're just ready to win the Premier League. And this is Kotoko, one of the highest paid teams in this country. There is no player in Asante Kotoko who takes less than 2,500 Ghana cedi. There is a player in Kotoko who takes $2,000. There are players in Kotoko who takes more than 10,000 Ghana cedi in Ghana. So they are a big opportunity to do what.
But they have a psychologist as a coach, so that should be easier for him to psychologically boost them. But what are you come back to the line? Behavior, are you there? Hello? 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 Okay. Okay, coverage. What's in the okay. I'm so say you have for coverage, no create.
It's like, you know, start times we decode and of course, I know him brigadier.
No, wherever he is, he's been able to watch us. Anyway, maybe we didn't hear him well, but you know, I bet TV, okay, right. But I think they have a bit TV. Thank you for the information. There's pressure. That's why you are being more. Why it's Asante Kotoko. That is why, you know. Okay, yeah, Sule from Ahafo. Hello, Sule.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Sule, what's up?
Me Kotoko boy na pesa me kawa sem kakra.
Okay.
I will say event is inconsistent. Coach na trying elo and no behe not do was play. So idea me can say coach on my young who say this is the team because I say one cause all your error and kakra we yaba or do we yaba I say try error just as like now when you're in the team no the emphasis me so me can
Yo, yeah, that's it. At this point of the league, try and error, you think?
Maybe Stars. A lot of changes. Today, Nicholas Osebonsi was in the first 11. John Tedeku came to replace Enoch Morrison in the same first 11. You can see Nuruddin moving to the bench.
Could it be, sir, based on your opponents, you know, Coach Esther, you can also join in, the coach change person. Because to bring things in those positions rather than say you don't change a winning team.
I think what he was trying to talk about is by this time,
you should know.
Match day 19-20, you should have a fair idea of your first 11. You go to Europe, Arsenal by this time, you know the fair idea of their best 11. Change by a 1 or 2.
But I understand.
But when you look at Kotoko, about 4 or 5 changes compared to the previous game, that boy, just 1 week interval.
Okay, so, Fifi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Fifi, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, okay. Me let's yeah, pampa with journalist. Almost second team no the best one no. If the team na ga say Brazil team yet, they are some this Africa. Oh, it's second round. I will be on the minute. You go shop and now. And you have to take the never on the day back. I'm using the way no market.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yes, sir. I wish last minute, yeah, different.
Oh, Kasa as Kotoko fan, and I say.
Oh, as sports fan.
Yeah,
as sports fan, objective.
Team men are supporting.
Oh, we are Barcelona fan.
Where they?
We are Barcelona fan.
Barcelona. Okay, now Ghana team men are supporting.
Ghana had the dwarf.
Dwarfs?
Yeah.
Yo, Mate.
Okay.
Yo, but thank you very much, Medasi. I can give you that. Minimum so be heart, but or a dwarfs fan there. But I think, you know, but some interesting referees now about Kotoko, but they need to back up. Clearly, all the callers are saying, Kotoko, they need to put in extra effort if they want to win. You know, and there was time for them to equalize.
And one of the callers was talking about, you know, going to buy the best right back in the first round, Emmanuel Kote. He's on the bench now. So when you go to the Kotoko team, they have about 4 right backs. So Obi Enyebimbo, Fuseni, Augustine Japan, Samuel Asamoah, Emmanuel Kote. They are all right back. Obi Enyebimbo, and they are still in the team. But you are struggling to raise money to extend the contract of key players like Richmond Lamte and Steve Mukwala. Some of these things, you know, obviously, all your supporter, you will complain. Because but some of these players too, a game against Karela.
Before the match, we listened to a friend saying Circles
Mr. Alex
Menu,
yeah.
And he was very confident. He's done what he can do. The rest is up to the players. Is the IMC working, or let's find on to China? Let's talk about the players.
In the long run, what matters is that, in as much as we've not had any kind of unrest in the boardroom of Kotoko, and then the IMMC, they are on top doing their job as well. When it comes to the technical aspect, it has been entrusted solely in the care of Dr. Prosper Ogo.
Interesting indeed. Let me take this last caller. We have time for our last caller from Kufuruda, right? And I say, your last caller, what's on your mind?
Yeah,
Boko Obinya.
So the Yamia Sepa, a lopa moye.
Yeah, that's it.
Kotoko is time, sir, Ogum, as a manager in the Casa. As on in the Casa, James expression, and a yakra, Mika Mele, my grandma. You said to the Kuono. Never knew. Bono was a way old prayer. Your friend is
Fatal.
Former house captain.
Fatal.
To take one of the one if I go on a coffee about it. I don't know what to say. Because then we said your friend is the not of 5 years.
Emma Kotoko. Justice Blair.
Justice. On your says justice the way not one the ball. It's a ball in your honor on the far. If you coach one mono, then I will ye. Number 2. Since you're starting around a lumpy and then one call. What I said, it is said, without them, no Kotoko. What to place be brave? And I'm only on uncle. Say, but like I just because when I just said, Uncle Boone will pray. So I said, it will be in the night. Obesity bench are unya. Obey and have a bobble. Did my coach. Shaboy Yako find the fish at the shot tree. The piano is at the Bill Jemo or by a word or ever. Onya decline or either wabble. Now forgot on the way. If you all go on the year, they were no eating no. Massa, and you're fine. They were no eating no. Oh, Aden. To be a call with the illusion. She quite a call Lucia Tando. She will no more to be. How? Who knows an alarm about free of two? I see so I catch a call. We also know an open Lanty. I know free no. Catch a 7 young born.
Anyway, on a, but it's actually part of the management, right, Esther?
And no name your cry. Part of management. It's can wait to be after the do the canon or see my Isia. More can wait. What could to play something below Galaxy? Boy, so what the PO Jam, and then a woman saying, my yow, Yakuma open all Tiakma too much. Oh, for place, we put this Mukala, so Mukala say, they do every corner your boys on my pass, rather, or the social. On my pass. John and Uncle, at the end of Mukala, not to go. Big top players are back to call. And if you're on Yako, how much more old good away? Let me spend it on. Never make a sure. Should you be a Kumasi? Although a breadwinner, woman in court, no shoes family. No more proof for Friday and sure. Yeah, Madame.
I like his submission. There's a philosophical way approach, or kind of tactics, and all kind of management. And then on a lighter note about go now, we consider. But these callers, they are very passionate, just like any other.
They are attached to the team.
Very close to the team.
Yeah. What's the IMC? Prosper Netogum, Nana Penkra, Newton Dasuberi, and of course, Kosiapia.
Right.
Kosiapia, Ejumana 50-50, or you student Ejuma, or you Kotoko Ejuma.
Yeah, time so we need to say it twice such that. So we'll bring the beginning reviewed, have a little discussion. Akwaba, welcome back. Ghana month, perfectly.
Thank you.
You know, Esther is in the house. Medasi, thank you very much. So for those visitors in for the African Games, thanks for joining us as well. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. for another game. Bye for now.